Hey everyone, here's your instructional video for week 3. Sorry, it's a little later than normal, but that's how it works sometimes with teaching. So this week you have a few things to do. The first thing is just a quick survey. I want to find out about your access to technology as we further on in the term will be exploring things like robots and probes and things like that. So need just a quick kind of collection of information on what you have access to and whether or not you're close enough to be able to access materials from us. So if you can fill that out, you just click on it. It takes you to a survey. It should look something like this. It has 2 questions, so that shouldn't take you very long. And then you're going to go on to you're evaluating a mobile app this week. So this is the discussion part. So first, you're going to choose an app and then just talk about briefly, what the app does, why you think it'll be useful, how is it relevant or not relevant to your content area. And then that goes in the discussion, and then respond to at least one other person's post. Your reading response for this week is going to be completed on a technology app called Pear Deck. This is one of the newer ones that it's kind of like Google Slides, but it's interactive. So you'll be given full points if you actually respond to the prompt. So if you go here and it loads, you can choose, your feeling and then how you're feeling today. And then it asks you a question and then allows you to answer on the slide. So there's, I think, 7 slides with questions. So you'll respond to that for your reading response. Again, the purpose of using all of these different technologies is to give you some ideas of what to use for your classroom, new things to use, old things that are kind of tried and true. And so be evaluating those as you're using them, even for our reading responses. And then the last assignment for this week that's due is you're going to be doing your mobile app project. So in this case, you're actually going to, with the app you chose, you're going to go through it. You're going to actually engage in the app, take some screenshots, write about a little more in depth about your evaluation of the app and how you might use it in a classroom. So, and it looks like I need to change this. It looks like this should not be the Google app. This should be a mobile app. So sorry if that's confusing. I'll fix it. You can see I copy and pasted. But if you look at the directions, it says find a science-related mobile app. The other thing that I wanted to go over briefly this week is your annotated bibliography. So this is due at the end of the term, but it is something you should be working on as you go. You're basically going to do a annotated bibliography that describes 30 STEM resources. So all of these funny, great resources we're using, including the articles you're reading, the videos you're watching, the technologies you're trying out, the websites you're visiting, all of these things I want you to be collecting in terms of an annotated bibliography. And by the end of the term, hopefully you will have at least 30 resources that you'll be able to use for your classroom to remind you of all the cool things you learned and things you can use. So the reason I'm highlighting it this week and something to pay attention to in this week's resources is I've actually included some examples of previous annotated bibliographies. So take a look at those in terms of format. Not all of them are exemplar, meaning they're not like the best of the work that I've collected, but they're all pretty good and use a little different format. So if you have any questions about the annotated bibliography, email me and we can set up a time to chat about it. But that will be due actually the end of the term. So that's it for this week. The other thing I want to remind you about is next week your applied technology project is due. So in addition to our normal weekly activities, you have your first kind of bigger project. And this is where you've chosen one of the projects that are one of the technologies that we've highlighted in class. So whether it's 3D software or a science app or a simulation or Google Earth, and you are going to actually dive into that a little more in depth. You're going to create a video, kind of like the one that I'm doing now, that walks us through the technology. It talks about how you use it, how it maybe gives us a brief demonstration of how you either have or plan on using it in your classroom. And then you'll upload that video that you create. Screencast-O-Matic is a good one for recording for YouTube, and then you can just upload it to YouTube, and then you're going to link it here in Canvas, and then there's a rubric here that tells you how this assignment will be evaluated. So that's coming up week 4. Just want to give you a heads up that that one's going to take you a little more time and to be preparing and thinking about which technology you want to use. So that's it for this week. Hope you have a good week, and I will see you soon.